have one. We're still a little bit over a year away, but can we expect something for a live too? There's probably some work that I believe is on there.
How about a question for Eddie on that? So Eddie, after this experience, going to work in some more KISS projects if you're honest?
I don't know, it's up to Jeff and the heavens above.
We are working on it. We are working towards figuring that out. How we doing? One more. I don't know where the microphone is.
Hello, I'm back here. Eddie Kramer, how are you, sir?
I'm still alive, thank you.
Yeah. We're glad for that. A friend of mine and I always say that we believe that Kiss Alive 2 is the greatest album ever made by human beings. And I'd like to know your opinion between Alive and Alive 2, because a lot is made of Alive, and rightfully so, but I love Alive 2 so much. I think it captures the band at their zenith at that time. And how would you compare the two albums, being that you produced them, and which one do you think is better?
Wow, that's quite a leading question. I think that both great and stand up very well. But one has to look at the success of the first Kiss Alive album and the impact that it made. Kiss Alive 2 is an incredibly well done, well put together album. Certainly, from the point of view of their playing, more advanced, obviously, they've been playing long, they're more polished, if you will. Learned an awful lot. Is it better? I think that's really in the mind of the person who's listening to it.
I think
That's your favorite, I think that's great.
I would interject and say I think also the major difference is now you've got the songs from Destroyer, Rock and Roll, and Love Gun appearing on that song, right? And their songcraft just absolutely skyrocketed. Obviously, there's just a gargantuan amount of songs that you know are at the top of the list. Right there. So I can understand your perspective on that, because you know, Alive was a live version of the first three albums. Alive 2 was a live, you know, recording of the next three albums.
I actually have a question. You know what, if you know this, because we don't get fights like this. The KISS community talks quite a bit. Does anyone know why the RIAA doesn't list Alive as actually certified platinum? We know it sold millions of copies.
I wish I could have an answer for that. That's something that happened between Casablanca and the RIAA back when it happened, and I don't know what the history of things there. Yeah, it's because I mean, in the book, it's literally a 2-page ad that Casablanca printed that says double platinum, and I'm like, how is this thing still certified gold? And the challenge today is we have to, as a record industry, we have to present documented sales on stuff pre-1991, pre-SoundScan, which was the implementation of scans of albums via barcodes and stuff like that through a computer that tracked it, you know, and unfortunately that's a paper trick. We gotta find file boxes, and if, you know, Casablanca, with all due respect, was the best at certain aspects of records.
That the album was sold like $500,000, something to that thing. So
I asked the question, you know, and I was just like, how do we, you know, back when we were developing it, like, how do we get this fixed and stuff like that? And we were just in a situation where we don't have enough documented proof that actually puts it over the threshold.
you have time for any more? How are we doing? Yeah, we get a few more minutes. Any more? Yep.
Thank you guys for great information. It's a question from a Norwegian fan. I was born in '74 and my KISS is from Ligerep to Organization. That was my youth. Is there any box sets plans for that?
Absolutely. We'll dive into all of them. We've also done it. We've done a deluxe edition for Love Gun. that was at a time we weren't really doing super deluxe box sets per se, so they were limited to 2 CD sets. The first album was on the first CD and the bonus tracks that we compiled. I know Love Gun we're going to be able to do something more with it at some point, but we just have to figure out, based on stuff that I'm finding, how we're going to chop it up and do what we want to do with it. Because you got a live too, you got something else special that's brewing in the middle of that. And, there's exciting things to come, guys. I mean, I can honestly tell you.
That's the best thing that you're doing is, all of us want something. Creatures was mine, and alive.
I'll almost be able to spend an hour up here talking about another story, of something that's coming in the future that was just like,
the greatest thing I was going to say is there's so much stuff that you're diving into.
Yeah, and Post Destroyer is when like the visual documentation really started to take more of a form. It really wasn't still the TV era necessarily, but I think obviously in the Dress to Kill box set, when the band went and performed, we're going to have a bunch at Coble Hall. They wanted to do a photo shoot at the venue next door the day before, I think it was. And then they with the intention of shooting film of them performing, which was a means that Bill Coins needed to spread the band's awareness and their brand to the international market. Because they weren't really going out and doing international tours at this point. So that's what those 2 music videos on the Blu-ray are for, Rock and Roll All Night and Come On and Love Me. And what's crazy about that is that was something that was going in full, which was a 16mm film of the finished edit of those 2 songs, which have been out there in the video world. Fans have gotten their hands on video quality ones, but I found these 16mm film prints of the finished edited performances of both those songs, exactly how you saw them on YouTube. And I just was like, hey, let's do a 4K UHD transfer and blow this thing out of the water. So that was really exciting when we found that, those assets. But anyway, sorry, that was a little bit of a tangent about. Yes, I mean, to answer your question, we have every intention to review all of these iconic albums, as they now are kind of getting into this 50th anniversary cycle for all of them.
I think we're going to wrap it up. Obviously, both of you gentlemen, a great round of applause for keeping these projects coming and putting so much care into them. Both of you, you're in capable hands. And Eddie, I hope you know this. I know Ace said it, but when we tell you, we really mean you have been a huge part of our life. This band is so important to so many of us. Thank you.
Eddie Kramer is Rob Wood.
I'm honored. I appreciate you all. I love you all. Thank you for being great fans. Please.
Thank you all. Thank you all for taking your time.